Chapter 7, Section 4, Problem 6. For the following information, determine whether a normal sampling distribution can be used, where P is the population proportion, alpha is the level of significance, P hat is the sample proportion, and N is the sample size. If it can be used, test a claim. So we have the claim there is greater than, P is greater than 0.52. So we have to test it by finding N and P have to be greater than 5. So we got to find our Q. So I find my Q to be 1 minus P, 1 minus 52, which is 0.48. Q is 0.48. So I already have my alpha there. It's 0.08. And my P hat is going to be X over N. And that's 0.56. And my N is 375. And my X is going to be 375 times 0.56, which is 210. Okay. So find NP and NQ. Multiply here 375 times 0.52 is 195. That's more than 5. And N times Q, 375 times 0.48 is 180. And that's more than 5. So we can use a normal distribution here. And for next part here, set up the hypothesis test. So we have our claim here. The claim is that P is greater than 0.52. So, and the null hypothesis has to be a statement of equality. So a null hypothesis is going to be P is less than or equal to 0.52. And there's our hypothesis test here. And there's the hypothesis test there. Find the critical value that goes with it. So we can use StatCrunch here for area. And since it's going to it's pointing to the right. So we can use StatCrunch. Stats, calculators, normal. Here. And it's pointing to the right. And there's our z-score. 0.08. Compute. And there it is. Okay. And that's our critical value. That's what I have there. So we have our critical value there. And we have it right there. And they round it. And the next part asks us to find a rejection region. So what does that mean? That means that, look at this again. So z-score is greater than 1.41 here. All this is our rejection region here, greater than. So z-score is greater than that would be our rejection region, and there's the area for it. And there's the rejection region there. You can see it right here. Test statistic. We can use StatCrunch again to do that. Stats. Proportion stats, one sample, the summary. In this case here, I have my X is number of successes for my P hat. So 210. Number of observations is 375. Hypothesis tests here. We have 0.52. And here it's pointing to the right. And there you have that. And we hit compute. You can see your test statistic there. And there it is there. So we have our test statistic. Okay. In this case here, this our z-score is our ZP hat. Our test statistic is greater than the critical value. So this means it's going to be inside the critical value. So we end up rejecting the null hypothesis. So another way of looking at it here, see the p-value for our test statistic is really small. It's really small. It's smaller than a level of significance. So what happened here is quite rare. So we end up rejecting the null hypothesis. It's going to be inside that.